Hello everyone, it's Editing Karen, and I just want to give you a little rundown about what you're about to see. So after school today, I went on a walk and I got like loads of steps. How many am I up to now? 10,987 steps. I would have walked much longer, but it was getting really dark and yeah. But let me tell you about where I walked to, and my story starts with the Polar Express. So I have loved this book forever. And I mean, honestly, I just love Chris Van Allsburg. He wrote and illustrated Jumanji and a bunch of others that are pretty well-known children's books. But there's something about the Polar Express that I have always loved particularly, and it never really hit me what it was until I moved to rural Illinois. So I know that Heather and some other people on here have the experience, Dee Dee, of what it's like to be an expat. And I have never had that experience. So I'm just saying that moving to rural Illinois was a close experience to being an expat, or at least it was a taste of it for me. I have lived in two areas that have really shaped me a lot as far as just diversifying my experience with people that live differently than me. One was in Highland Park, Illinois, where I worked at a school that Michael Jordan's kids would have went to if they were able to have enough security to go to public school. It was very affluent, very Jewish, and I'm not a part of either of those circles, so it was definitely a culture shock to me. And then the other one is rural Illinois, which I could talk a whole video on. So with that being said, I was a kindergarten special education teacher, and we read this book and also watched the movie with the kids every single year. And so it was just really special to watch the movie with them because we had tickets for them and we would chop them, punch them with their initials and stuff as soon as that part came up in the movie. We also would deliver hot chocolate to them by dancing, or while dancing, I should say, when that part came up in the movie. And it was just so comforting for me to have that experience and also to provide that experience for kids, because I think that is definitely just a really fun part of childhood, being able to not only watch that movie at school, usually on PJ day, but also just have that experience of your teachers kind of acting it out for you in some ways. But it was when I watched that movie, which went much deeper into the neighborhood and stuff that the boy grows up in before he goes to the Polar Express, or on the Polar Express, that I realized the exact reason why the Polar Express means so much to me. And when you open this book and you look at the pictures, like, yes, they are just beautiful and dreamlike and whimsical, but there's something more about them, and I've realized that what it is they remind me of home. And like these houses and stuff, they don't look like the neighborhood that I grew up in, and I might show that later, but there's something about them that still reminds me of home because they look like the houses in Grand Rapids. They look like what I'm used to driving by every time I go to Grand Rapids. And I showed houses like that in a recent video where I went to a sauna and like a polar plunge sort of a thing. I think I called it fire and ice, or that's what it's called where I went. I kind of showed some houses near there, and they're so adorable and they're so unique, and they each have their own character, and that is kind of the feel of the Polar Express, and that feeling reminds me of home, even though, like I said, I did not grow up in that neighborhood. And so I realized the reason that this book is comforting to me is because it reminds me of home, and the reason it reminds me of home is because Chris Van Allsburg is from East Grand Rapids, and East Grand Rapids is one of my favorite towns around where I live. I love East Town, which is a neighborhood of Grand Rapids, and then I love East Grand Rapids, which is a affluent suburb of Grand Rapids, and it's just really active, vibrant, lots of sports going on all the time as far as like running and paddleboarding and all sorts of things. People are always out and doing things. And I just love the vibe of this city for the most part. It's a bit snooty. But anyway, I decided tonight that I was gonna go for a walk to view Christmas lights. And not only that, but I wanted to see Chris Van Allsburg childhood home. So I did a bit of research on the internet, but I didn't do a ton of research because I didn't really want to know like his exact address. I ended up finding his street and I was able to find his house. So I hope you enjoy the rest of this video, just seeing kind of the neighborhood that Chris Van Allsburg grew up in. I do have his biography online and it said that this was like a new development when he lived there. So I'm sure it's changed quite a bit. And what else did it say? I thought it said somewhere on there that his mom was like the first something in Michigan, like councilwoman or something. I will look it up again and then try and find it and put it below. But anyway, yeah, please just enjoy a nice winter's walk through a neighborhood with beautiful Christmas lights. And I will see you soon. Oh, by the way, stay tuned for next Friday. It's gonna be probably the most insane thing that I have ever showed on this channel. So yeah, I'll see you soon.